What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how you're not emotionally fit to be in a relationship. Now, yesterday I spent pretty much all day just thinking about rope maxing. And it's like when you think about that, let's say that you were even attractive enough to get a girlfriend in the first place, right? Let's say that one, you were attractive enough, two, you put in that work, bro, and you actually were able to manage to get this girl to text, respond to you, show up to a date even, and potentially, she doesn't have 20 other suitors that also, bought her free gifts, free roses, followed her on her Instagram bikini picture spam profile, and took her out to dinner at, the sushi restaurant. And she ends up liking you for some weird reason. Um, she's gonna end up not liking you when she realizes that you need an emotional tampon, emotional outlet, and you put that on her. She is going to dislike that greatly, and then on top of that, she's not gonna want to hear it if you're emotionally unstable like I am, which I'm kind of just now coming to terms with. But yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, um, it's so weird. Like I hadn't drank in maybe a week or two, um, and really out of nowhere. And I can probably think about where it's coming from, but just initially it felt like out of nowhere I was just getting these intrusive thoughts, and I don't know what other people might call them, but that's kind of how I'm referring to them now, is intrusive thoughts, because it's like I don't know like where it's coming from, and I can't not think about it. Like I can't distract myself with anything to get the thoughts to go away. And I think that's what like defines an intrusive thought, where it just comes in. And it's just like me just thinking about like rope maxing. And it's like, how, you know, I'm not really thinking about it now, but it's like, how could I expect a girl to be able to deal with that when they really can't deal with their own emotions anyway? Like, how could I expect them to deal with a guy that, you know, every occasion just gets to that point, right? Like, I don't see that working out. Like I said, even if you meet the cut for attractiveness, which if you think about it conceptually, and I know I don't have like a chart pulled up or anything, but um, if you think about it conceptually, basically, you could think of a line graph, and it's like all the way at the top minus a little bit of a sliver of the whole box, and it's like super far. It goes up to like 80%, and then it drops dramatically. Um, and that is kind of like the looks threshold. But then once you pass that looks threshold, um, there was like five or six other lines on that line chart, other bands, and they were all at zero. They didn't matter at all. They were completely irrelevant. But once you pass that looks threshold, once we get to 80% attractiveness or 85% attractiveness level, those bands shoot up. And then the attractiveness band lowers to some extent. Doesn't really matter how much or what the percentage is. But now, instead of like that one single green bar up at top, up at the top, all you have to do is just pass looks. Now, once you pass looks, there's literally like five, six, seven, eight different other bands, different other lines that you have to pass. And one of those is emotional stability. Um, and depending on the girl, obviously, I would say probably some girls that are also completely emotionally unstable, they might be more willing to deal with, you and your um sewer thoughts. Um Or maybe not. I really can't say, right? I really don't have an answer for that one. I haven't interviewed 10,000 women and asked them what their personal experience is with guys that have sewer thoughts, right? I have not done that. I don't know if that's out there. Maybe some TikTok street interviewer has done that. Maybe some guy on the campus flying out to college campuses for a YouTube social experiment has done that. I guess if someone has seen a video like that, asking women what they think about if a guy tells them about their sewer thoughts, that's actually a really interesting video. If that exists, if it doesn't exist, somebody might have to ask women about that. But nonetheless, you have to understand, like, that's a serious stopping gap as well. And I don't know how to get around that, because like I've pretty much had it for the greater part of a decade at this point. Every so often it just kind of comes into my head, and there's really nothing that I see that I can do about it. And I know that, like, Top G Andrew Tate is like, oh, bro, I don't believe in depression. I don't believe in anything that takes power away from me, bruv. And I drink sparkling water. What color is your Bugatti, bruv? And with that, it's like, okay, I understand what he's saying. Because if you kind of, quote unquote, like he's saying, bruv, I don't give power to it, then it doesn't affect me. If I don't believe in ghosts, then I'm not scared of ghosts. If I don't believe in depression, then it doesn't slow me down, and I can scam Indians and Muslims hundreds of thousands of dollars in my Tate Speech Club for 5,000 euros or 5,000 British pounds for my sparkling water addiction. um, so yeah, I mean, basically, he's saying that depression doesn't exist, or he doesn't believe in it, so it doesn't exist. And I think manipulating yourself in that way, I think that's like a powerful tool. That's a powerful thing to do. That's a whole other topic, though, essentially. But when it comes to intrusive thoughts, it's a little bit different because I can't just unthink my way out of thinking that. It literally is just like at the forefront of my brain, and I can't describe it any other way. It's just like, that 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 bridge, like so, and yeah, I don't know. And it's just like, one, I don't really know how to deal with it sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, man, I really want to wrap my car around like a light pole, and it's like, we got to get through those days. But I don't know if there would be, partners, there would be girls willing to deal with that. If you start airing that out, I don't think that would go well. I don't know. I don't think women really want to hear that. Now, there is the flip side of it where girls also like to kind of baby men and kind of like if you like tell them about their problems, they'll kind of like latch onto you kind of thing and do that. That's like, oh, I can't say that word on on YouTube, but that's like, geez, I don't even know a good like alternative word for it. But that's like geez, I really can't think of anything. We'll just say that's like wussy riz. We'll call it, yeah, that works. It's like wussy riz, oh my problems, oh my problems. And then you get attention from the girl, and then, over time that develops. And I know for a fact that actually does work. My friend does that. I've done that. I've done it to e-girls, so it's not like they saw what I look like, so don't get it twisted. But yeah. But I think when the rubber meets the road, I don't think that's like a good long-term strategy, just airing out, what you're feeling depressed about or something along those lines. I think like initially, to some extent, it could potentially pique their interest. It's like totally different riz. But other than that, I don't think that it's something that they're going to want to hear constantly every single week that, oh, he's, on another episode again, right? Then at that point, it becomes like a job. And if you think about it in the reverse, if you think about having to deal with a girl that's doing that, like, oh, she's just, going through her weekly mental period, her weekly mental menstruation of how she wants to, like, you know, mark her body permanently using sharp objects. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't want to deal with that, and she doesn't want to deal with you having sewer thoughts. And it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, good luck. If that's the case, what's really going to happen? Not much. Not much of anything is really going to happen. So the multiple hurdles that arise after passing the looks threshold, I mean, they're practically insurmountable as well at this point, especially given the circumstances of, my mental state, to be honest, because it's like, every other occasion, that's kind of where I'm at. And, again, I think I've said this before, but I mean, I think it's one of the major reasons of why I even am talking into this microphone in the first place. It's because I don't have anyone else to talk to about this. I can't talk to a therapist about this. I made another video about therapists. I have never gone to one, but I've watched some content on people that have, and they all say the same thing. Not to get into that, but I don't think it's a viable option for guys in our situation. So, I haven't gone to a therapist. I don't plan on going to a therapist. None of this stuff is something that I can talk about to any of my family members. Absolutely not. And there's plenty of other BPers that, have said these things to their family members. And they also all say the same thing, that the family members just hit them back with like blue pill cringe. They're like, oh, just look on the bright side, bro. Look on the bright side, son. One day you're going to grow old and you're going to be, oh, the right one is just around the corner and you're really going to be the... It's like, and I predict that exact same thing happening to me if I, reach out or tell some of my family members some of this stuff. It's like, they're not going to want to listen to this crap. No. Dude, they're dealing with their own crap. They literally birthed you. You've lived on this planet for however many years. You think they want to deal with more of your shit? No, dude. They ain't getting paid for it. It's a full-time job that never ends, and they don't want it to be more difficult. So, don't think they want to hear it. And your friends definitely don't want to hear it. They're just going to call you wussies. I mean, I want to use a different word, but whatever, it's YouTube. But yeah, they're just going to call you wussies, and oh, get this. You try to air it out with guys, they're going to call you wussies. 1, 2, they will literally collect everything you say for when you're at your lowest, when you're feeling the worst. You say, oh man, I really, feel terrible because of this thing, or I don't know why, but this is how I feel, or this is what I feel like doing. They will collect that, put it into a secret folder of things to literally clown you for later on. And more than just clown, but like, demean you in a bad way. They'll collect that lore of yours and put it into a folder for later just to attack you. So then on top of that, they're also going to hit you back with some cringe blue pill or red pill advice typically, right? You tell them like, oh man, like, I don't know what you would tell them, but you get the idea. You tell them something like, oh, I'm feeling this way. They're going to be like, oh, just chin up, bro. Or they're gonna like also clap back at you and tell you they're annoyed with you, or tell you like, stop saying that, like you're ruining the vibe, bro. Like, bro, stop talking about how you're depressed, bro. You're killing the vibe, bro. Look, bro, I'm just trying to do this, bro. You're really putting me down. You're always depressed, bro. And it's like, again, like, what is the point of having friends if I can't air this out? Like, you can't bottle this stuff up, right? You really can't. And again, that goes back to therapy. Literally the only point of therapy or a therapist. Oh, I just want to crack a joke. The blankest. Um, but the only point of therapy is literally to air out what's going on in your life and basically bounce it off a sounding board that potentially will give you a second look into your life, give you some other ideas. There might be some other reasons, but I think that is like one of the main sole reasons of therapy. And why is that not a main sole reason of also having a relationship with people that are family members to you or people that are friends with you, right? And the reason for that is because they don't care. They don't want to hear it. And again, they're going to just collect the lore, demean you for it later on if you tell them anything. And they're also going to attack you literally in real time. Be like, yo, bro, stop talking that way, bro. I'm trying to just like, you know, play my video game. Something like that. And it's just crazy. So then here I am at this point, now that I've experienced all of that. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm literally not going to tell them anything. I'm feeling this way. I will literally avoid telling them things on purpose because I know that they don't want to hear it. And what does that do? That makes it more difficult for me to even deal with it. So it's just crazy how that works. And it doesn't get better that way. So, but yeah, so I mean, I was feeling very looking at the sewer yesterday. I'm feeling okay now, but I don't know, man, it's just crazy. And yeah, that being said, a girl isn't going to want to deal with that because, I mean, it's kind of like deductive reasoning. One, the closest people in your life, your family members don't want to deal with that. Your friends don't want to deal with that. A therapist, dude, you literally have to pay them hundreds of dollars an hour to have them deal with that. And they literally give you garbage. So you think some dumb whammon is going to want to deal with that? Are you crazy? When she has like 20 brads hitting her up on her Instagram DMs and, 30 guys in her TikTok comments saying, mommy, 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 mommy. Like, no, you're not at the top of the roster. Oh boy, you're not at the top of the list, okay? You're at the bottom. If you even make the cut, which, to be honest, you probably don't. And then on top of that, you're also depressed. On top of that, you're also have sewer thoughts. And it's like, no one's going to want to deal with the ugly guy that also, puts them down. That's like a, what's it called? It's like a job at that point. I mean, if you're dealing, it's kind of like the thing about like a fat girl, right? Like a fat girl, you can either be fat or you can be mean. You can't be both. You can be a beautiful skinny girl and be mean and get away with it. You can be a fat girl and get away with it, but only if you're nice, right? And pleasant to be around. But if you're mean and fat, no guy is going to want to be around you. And it's literally the exact same thing for a man. You can be ugly and, get by in life, right? You can be an asshole and be attractive and you can get by in life that way. But you certainly cannot, be all depressed and all that stuff and also be ugly. No one's going to want to be around you, right? So, I don't have a solution for this. Don't think I do. But literally what I do is I just become reclusive and just like step away from everything and ignore everyone and just loner max essentially because there's literally like repercussions to sharing this stuff with people. And it's like, I don't even want to deal with those repercussions anymore. Like whatever airing of my grievances benefit I get from it's being outweighed at this point by the repercussions of telling people, the negative aspects. And so that like literally makes me loner maxed, which is terrible. And then on top of that, so one, I don't have anyone that I can share and open up to when I'm feeling down, which is terrible. And certainly a girl will not want to listen to it either. But it gets even worse. It gets even, if you thought that was already bad, the kicker is coming around the corner. It gets even worse than that. So, on top of that, I also don't have anyone that I can share with when things go really well and when I'm feeling good and I'm feeling happy, or if I accomplish something or I do good thing. I literally can't tell anyone that either. And it's just like two sides of the same evil coin. Evil coin. Like, I do something good or well, that I'm proud of, that I want to share with someone else. Well, guess what? You share that with someone else, if it's a guy, guess what happens? They get jealous. They get angry at you for sharing your success or sharing something good in your life. They say, oh, whatever, I was doing this. And then they get jealous and they literally do a mirror of themselves onto you in a weird way. It's like, oh wow, I had a good day, I did X, Y, Z, and I did, A as well, and it was good, and I'm proud of that. Oh, bro, I did X, Y, Z, and I also did A, B, and C like 3 weeks ago, and I was doing DEF like 2.5 months ago too. And it's like, bro, I'm not here to like shit on you, bro. I'm not here to like alpha up on you. And I understand that to any and every extent we are competing with each other, but like, dude, it's just so brutal, man. I just can't even deal with it at this point. Like, I can't even share my success with people, dude. Like, what is going on, man? Like, why? Like, why are guys so jealous and angry when something good goes your way? I can't share them, wow, I got, some views on my YouTube channel. I can't share that with anyone. Wow, I did a good thing at my job or something like that. I can't share that with anyone. Like, oh, stop talking about work, bro. All you talk about is work, bro. Or, oh, you did that. Well, I was doing this, and that. And like trying to compete, Max, for no reason when I'm just like sharing my life experience. And it's like, it's just so crazy. If you're not like doing some cringe blue pill, I don't even know if this word is acceptable on YouTube, but, retier shit. If you're not doing some cringe retier shit, like, going to some restaurant. Oh yeah, bro, I was like visiting the local ramen shop, dude, and I had like a fried egg in my ramen with the noodles. Oh man, it was so good. And like when I walked in, the atmosphere was so cool. If you're not like sharing some garbage like that, then either if you're sharing something depressed, they're gonna lore collect everything you say, use it against you. If you share something that's going well, it's also bad. They're gonna start hating you. They're gonna start attacking you. You're the enemy now. You're beating them. And I don't know, maybe some of you guys can't relate with that. Maybe if y'all are just, I don't know, what is it called? If y'all are just neat maxing, if y'all are just neats not really working or anything like that, then sure. That's fine too. I don't have any animosity against people doing that, living that lifestyle by any stretch of the imagination. I completely understand why you'd want to live that lifestyle. But me personally, that's not how I'm living my lifestyle. And for me, like, working is a cope. It just keeps my brain off sewer thoughts, man. So it's not like I'm literally just trying not to be dead here. Like, I'm not trying to like alpha up on you, bro. Like, yeah, bro, I'm so much better than you because I did so much work, bro. It's like not even like that. It's literally not like that. It's literally just like, I need something to do with my time because there's nothing else to do. I don't have anything else in my life to do other than that. It's the only thing that keeps me going. It's the only thing that stimulates me enough to keep going. So, and I can't even share that. Literally, like, the biggest part of my life, I can't share that with other people. It's like, for example, if you're going to school if you're like studying something, oh yeah, bro, I'm like studying bioengineering, bro, and I'm gonna become a doctor after medical school. It's like, if you can't tell anyone about like what you're studying in school and like maybe various like like even a general summary of like the quarter or the week or like the whatever topic you may have studied, or just like to share something with someone, because when you share something with someone you internalize it more, right? And it helps you learn it better as well, and it's also fun for you to share what you're learning with others. If you were unable to do that from a school perspective, that would be like psychotic, right? Because like everyone is always doing that from a school perspective, from what I can remember. They're always talking about, oh my, I'm studying psychology and we learned about Freud last week. Oh, it's so quirky. But if you do it from like a work perspective or a business perspective, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, bro, I was doing 18-hour shifts of DoorDash, swapping accounts for 6 years before I got my current job. It's like, you know, it's like, dude, I'm not trying to like alpha up on you, compete max. Like, I'm just trying to share my life as I'm living it so that, I can just share my life. I think that's just a normal human human thing to do, is just share what's going on in your life with other people. And it's like, is YouTube literally the only place that I can do that? Is this really the only reasonable place that a young man can share their thoughts? They can't share it to their friends, they can't share it to their family, they sure as hell can't share it to their coworkers. HR complaint, HR complaint, please come to the office. We need to talk to you about what you were talking about earlier. You said the R word, it says here. It's like, dude, like, you definitely can't share it to coworkers because that's insanity. And then you definitely can't share it to women. They're not going to want to hear it. You will literally scare them off. I actually pushed away an eGirl by sharing my problems with her purposefully, because I got to the point where it's like, okay, this girl is not really fit for what I'm looking for, right? And look, whatever, guys. If oh, fake shovel, so that's fine, cool. But yeah, the amount of like stuff going on with her was insane, which is what you would expect, of course. And then on top of that, to my exact point earlier, I just simply tried to share what I was, quick story that happened in my life. That actually, well, it was crazy. I can't really share this story, but maybe much later on, but not right now. But there was a personal story that happened to me, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I shared it with her, and it was like she just gave me like a blank stare, like literally like that emoji with the period underscore period. And then without even acknowledging what I said in the story, more or less, she just moved on to, oh, but my TikToks. And it's like, oh, my makeup. It's like, what? Like, can you at least acknowledge my existence, please? Like, I don't think that's too much to ask for. And then it happened multiple times. It wasn't just like a one-time thing. And it's like, okay, this is like a reoccurring event that I actually can't deal with. I think I'm gonna have to call it on this one, boys. You know what I mean? I can't deal with this reoccurring event of literally feeling like I don't exist to someone that you are trying to form a intimate relationship with. Yeah, that's not really gonna work. That's not gonna fly. So, especially considering that I would listen to her for extended periods of time, all of her stories, all of her life experiences for hours. And then, oh yeah, maybe I want to share a personal story of mine. Something nice happened today. Something cool happened earlier this week. maybe not feeling the best today. Literally no response. Like, what is that? I mean, it could have just been her because I don't know. I mean, these girls online are insane. Not in a good way. I know it's like kind of a meme. It's like, yeah, I just want a crazy girl. Oh, I just want a girl that's psychotic. It's like, dude, you literally don't. You actually don't, because they're not good to be around. Okay? And we can unpack that and go more in depth in that, but craziness is not cute when it's actual, literal crazy. Craziness is cute when she's like a little bit overly infatuated with you, but after that point, then it's like it becomes like homework or like a like a work project. It becomes like a giant part-time or full-time job you have to keep up with. Oh, she's having one of her psychotic episodes again, you know. And that's just the human condition, right? And I have mine too. So I'm not even um fully against having to deal with that stuff necessarily. There definitely is a point. There definitely is a sticking point. But I don't think women have much of a tolerance band to deal with men doing it. I don't think it's a two-way street with that. I think that men definitely have like a tolerance band to deal with women's psychopathy and sociopathy and things like that, and just overall retardation. But I don't think that women really do. If they do, it's to a much lower degree, of course. Unless you're like Giga Chad or whatever. That's a different topic. I mean, that's unrelated. Like, who cares? We're literally not, so it doesn't matter, right? So, um, yeah, and so I'm just like trying to like give a story to this girl, and yeah, like I said, she just gives me the blank stare, and it literally makes you feel like she doesn't care at all about you. It's like literally like this guy is not worth anything. Can't even give him the simplest acknowledgement for his life and his life story. You know, something that he's proud of doing, earlier in the week or something. And it's like, that's literally like all I'm asking for. I just want someone intimate that I can share that with. And what I've come to the conclusion is I can't find that, even platonically. Like I said, I can't even find that with family. I can't find that with friends. And like I've also demonstrated, I can't find that with women. So what it comes down to is, I don't know. I can only find that on YouTube apparently. Maybe I'll have to become I don't know, some Twitch streamer or something. Uh but yeah, I mean that's really what it comes down to, is that women are not going to deal with your emotional baggage, and really no one will. That's just life. That's how it is. And yeah, it kind of sucks. But yeah, that being said, on another note, it definitely felt pretty good today. I would say. I know. I'm only bringing this up because I said yesterday I wasn't feeling that good, right? So today I'm actually feeling pretty good. Um, but the issue is that I'm feeling good, and I feel like I had two big accomplishments today, but I literally can't tell anyone about it. I literally can't tell anyone about it. I can't tell my family about it. I can't tell my friends about it, and I have no girls that I can tell. So here we are. So, gotta love it. Just live, laugh, love. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.